2020, should I say. Today, Thanksgiving Day. It's a day when I find that I can admit that the thing that is most special about this day is that it gives me an opportunity to face the truth and admit the truth. There is a positive, but I can only know that because there's a negative. There's a good God and there's an evil God. There's a God of love and there's a God of hate. The one that we say we love the most is the God of love. And we say that because there we say we can live as if heaven. And I don't know that for sure. I heard that. But what a couple of things I do know, ladies and gentlemen, is peace. I know that peace comes from being fair, honest, and just. Peace comes from being fair, honest, just. And that includes, that's what we call decency. That, you've heard the expression, no justice, no peace. Well, see, honest, fair, these things represent justice. You deliver that in any situation, and you will have peace. In the middle of a war, you call up these basic principles and execute them, and there will be peace. Now, I know that for a fact. There's another thing that's called prosperity. Prosperity is your positive gifts that works out from you to bring to you or to the group what you have as an individual sought out to get, or you as a group are seeking after. That's what you call prosperity. Planting a seed and getting back what you want. That's what we call prosperity. Now, freedom. Freedom is the ability and the right to do whatever you want to do, as long as it does not infringe upon the same rights of others, because the moment you do that, you don't have any peace. Peace is broken down. So you got to treat people like you want to be treated. And you're free to do what you want to do. Look at that now. We got peace, we got prosperity, and we got freedom. Talking about the good God, the God of love. And there's another. It's called joy. Joy. I mean, every individual can go with some joy. What is joy? Joy is the ability. Hey, you know, it's almost like wrapped up in these two. Peace, prosperity, freedom, and a career of your choice. And you got joy. Joy, you got peace, prosperity, freedom, and a career of your choice. That's called joy. That's heavenly, man. That's joy. And guess what? Let me tell you what it produces. It produces the fulfillment of your dreams. Whatever you dream is able to be made manifest. Now, out of this, you have your needs met, you have your wants met, you have your desires met. That's heavenly. Yes, it is. You're never hungry. You're never clothesless or shelterless. You're never suffering from these. You don't suffer from a lack of not knowing. You educate yourself by whatever means necessary. That's the whole honor. You're never without health care. It's there just like you. My friends, that's heavenly. That is the God of love. That is the God of justice. That is the God of freedom. That is the God of peace. That's the God of prosperity. That's the God of joy. That's the God of the fulfilled dreams. That's the God of life. And he's available to every, and God, that God is available to every individual that claims that God. Now, that's an absolute truth. But there's another God too. And it's the opposite of the God I just explained to you. This God that I just mentioned to you is a God of life, a God of creation. But the opposite is a God of destruction. You know, that peace, who wants peace? Not this God. This God is about war. War, my friends. Who wants prosperity for all? Not this God. Only this God wants prosperity for God and whatever servants that serve God to, that God needs to serve. This God. Who wants freedom? There ain't no freedom. There's freedom only to this God. And little extensions to those that honor by giving their allegiance to this God. Joy and no, that just ain't happening. Happens for some, but never all. This just doesn't happen for this God. This God is in the business of taking and tearing down. And in order to be successful in what he does, this God lies and cheats and steals and kills and terrorizes and calls for hatred, calls for racism, calls for bigotry. Some got, some don't, some super wealthy and some in ghettos. Ooh, boy, ain't that something? This is something. Boy, what kind of God is this? They go to war, you got ghettos, you got poverty, you got crime, you got violence. And listen, let me tell you what, this is God. Let me tell you what that God does. I really knew, but I didn't know till this president came along and he exercised all of those. What he did was took everything that he did, which was totally opposite of what we had considered as being the good God, and did the opposite. He lied and cheated. He did all that, and he called it the truth. He called the alternative truth. And everything over here that already happened, he called that fake. That's the working principles of evil. That's how it works. That's exactly how evil works. And guess what? There are people who are following this God, who will say, it doesn't matter. This is the president. It doesn't matter what you think or what the law says. If this president chooses you to be in a position, I don't care what science says. I don't care what truth says, because it is your job to confirm and go along with everything the president said. There are people in this country that believe that. So that kind of makes me think that when I heard a story, I don't know how true it is, that was the same evil went up to heaven and was dealing with the angels and started doing the same thing that is being done here in the middle of our eyes. In the middle of our lives, right before our eyes. We're seeing it, and it's happening. And it's just a reflection on the old story. Wow. But I heard they got kicked out. They got kicked out from that high heaven to a low. And that low was called earth. So all of that doubt, all of that evil, all of that which wasn't kind and right came here. But people had children, and every time they had a child, it came directly from life. And with life, the things that came of life naturally came with it. The problem was that once all of that natural love and peace and prosperity got here as a child, it got indoctrinated and changed to be just like this. Don't you know that God of love sent an answer to sicknesses and diseases, cancers? Man, let me tell you, you got anybody that died from cancer? Boy, that's a terrible thing. My father-in-law is going through it right now. Day after tomorrow, my oldest daughter, will be buried because of cancer. A cancer that the Heavenly Father has sent so many people down here to bring knowledge about how to deal with this. But it's not proper down here because the operating tool down here is money and control. In order to do that, you can't fix stuff for folks. Because if you fix stuff for folks, then you lose control. So, and you don't be making money. So that has to go on. So what I realized this, ladies and gentlemen, is it's like, I heard somebody say once a long time ago, I don't know how true it is, but it's sufficient for an analogy, that we come here, as I speak to you and others like, we come here to this hell to learn the value of heavenliness by understanding and rejecting this stuff that we see, because for some strange reason we're waking up from that which is naturally us, the stuff that is genuine us. And we see the difference in the two. And our purpose is not to just see it, but to expose that ugliness and reveal the way of life. Reveal it. No other purpose but to change this and make it good for everybody, just like up there. No other purpose. And if you can't do it, you do it till you get out, till they run you out of here. Do it till they kick you out of here the way it was kicked out of heaven. And sometimes you'll get kicked out early. You won't get a chance to be old walking around here. When you stay here a long time and you get to be really old, that means you have put up with a lot of stuff. You say a man is 100 years old. Oh, you say he lived a good life. Well, yes, he lived a good life. He didn't rock no boats. He did everything he possibly could. What? To stay alive. 107, 115 years. Living in this society 115 years? That means you wouldn't give a stink about nobody but yourself. You get people come here who care about others who get killed at 15, who get killed at 21, who get killed at 39 because they care. But you're living because the devil, that's no threat to you. And guess this. The devil will even allow those of you who got some compassion and some empathy and love in you, and you want to do stuff for people, like on holidays like today, you want to fix and feed those that don't have clothes, that don't have food. You want to do other things to help people who are suffering. And that's a good thing. That means that there's a God in you. There's something still that you can connect to. Here's the problem with that, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't do anything to deter the evil. In other words, evil allows you to do exactly those things. It's kind and nice. I'm not going to try to take away from that, especially to those people who receive it. But it will prevent you from taking the necessary action to make sure that everybody here got food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and a job. No, it won't do that for nothing. Nothing will allow you to do that. Because this is the other way. This is where evil lives. This is where the God of evil lives, right here on earth. Not just in America, but all over earth. I've been out here for 40 years, ladies and gentlemen, talking about that heaven up there. Talking about all you had to do in order to switch from this hell to that heaven is recognize that God up there is the only power over your life, not government systems or nothing. Only that God. And I know when I say that 8 billion people being directed by that God, you ain't gonna see no chaos like you think that you will see chaos like that, except if it's led by that God. You see, that God will lead you straight, all of you, 8 billion, straight down that path I just shared with you, and better. And anything that is not of that God will lead you straight down this path right here, and it will start all kinds of stuff. But one thing about it, that won't work because it's already been kicked out of heaven. And so all of the stuff that brings heaven together, that won't. And so whatever you're doing, you're just proving that you're another part of Trump. You're just proving that you're part of that which Trump and his associates are a part of. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I've learned that. So I realize living today is just about learning that there's a true God that loves me and loves all of us. And for me to reject all of this, I don't care how good it looks, all the cars, even though I might be driving one sometimes that don't belong to me, reject it all. Why? And continue to advocate for the heavenliness that brings peace, prosperity, freedom, and joy, and the fulfillment of your dreams to everybody. And so all I say, look, the real God that sent me here to do this, I'm going to tell you, you know, and you didn't send me to change the world. You sent me to bring some information to the world so the world can change if it makes that choice. And I haven't given up. I'm still here. But I sure ask and hope that God don't allow me to stay here and receive all these sicknesses and diseases that people who love the earth, people who love evil, have to go through. I don't want to go through that pain and suffering. I ain't got nothing here. I got children and families, but they belong to God first. And in the world that I live in today, I can't do nothing for them. I can't pay their rent. I can't do anything because in order for me to do that, I can't get them, pay them to go to college and stuff like that. In order for me to do that, I got to work for Satan. And I haven't told you what Satan is doing. I'm telling you, God is the way to eliminate the pain and suffering. And if you continue to reject it, you can say what you want to say about me. I'm God's child that's working for the whole human race as far as God has given me to do. And if you could have rejected me, hey, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I know where I'm at. I'm in hell. I don't really expect you to be excited about me. You know, you got excited about Trump when he came in calling everybody ugly criminals and nastiness. You just loved it. The cameras couldn't put it down. I came down talking about peace and joy and prosperity for everyone, and you ain't heard a word because ain't nobody put a camera in front of this. Nowhere. Why? Because we're in hell, and that ain't the message that you're supposed to get. And since you know that's not the message you're supposed to get, you run away from it. You protect yourself from the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, this is my Thanksgiving Day message to you, 2020. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. It's truly been a heck of a 70 years. But whether I like it or not, it's been here and it's been done. And so now, like that, some people say that turkey up there, that goose up there, I've been cooked. And I don't mind telling you. So until next time, bye-bye.